I'm on my way. I know I can't stay away.
Welcome everybody to a brand new segment with our very first special guest. We have Mxtty Holmes. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And you've been busy in 2020 and 2021 so far. So tell us a little bit about what you have coming up with the Toxic Love Mixtape.
Of course. Yeah, man. So, I mean, a lot of people, I'm sure, are dealing with a lot of issues with these last year with the pandemic, things slowing down. I decided to take advantage of the slow time and really put together a project that I've been working on for probably about a year and a half prior. And the Toxic Love Mixtape is basically a collaborate of songs that I put together and to really emphasize on a previous relationship that really took a toll on me. And I decided to, instead of going down the route of, finding a new lover or, trying to get over it with drugs, I decided to actually utilize writing and singing as a means to kind of get over the girl and, become the person I am today. So super excited to get it out to the world. Yeah.
Nice. And I read before that you say that you were very heavily influenced by Linkin Park and The Weeknd, who were, worlds away. So where do you fit between those two worlds with your musical style?
Well, yeah, man. I mean, Chester Bennington definitely was a massive influence of mine. I think it was In the End. I remember seeing that on Much Music when I was, who knows how, I'm thinking 14, 15. Got to figure it out. But yeah, man, super starstruck by the performance, how they kind of came together on that stage and that music video. And I think it's just more so like that rock feel that I kind of got from Chester. It kind of made me realize that I'm into that rock style. And it actually ended up evolving a little bit. I was in some hardcore bands in the past as well. So I've done some hardcore stuff. So definitely the Screamo thing was, I think he'd probably be the first person I've ever heard scream. So I was definitely taken from that. And I probably say about 6 years ago, started actually into a hardcore band where I was actually a screamer. And then as I started getting older, indulging in women, chasing women, being heartbroken by them, I obviously came across The Weeknd and instantly just felt attracted to his style, his voice, just the emotion that came with his vibe and his sound. So I guess what I've done now is kind of created this two-side artistry where definitely I have an R&B feel, but I definitely have that rock feel. So I'm trying to find a cool way of bringing them together. So with this project I have coming out, tons of different styles. I got some pop in there, some R&B, some hip hop. And then I do have a single in the actual project that has a bit of a scream in it at the end, which is going to be kind of cool. So I am trying to bring them all together. But definitely, man, those two guys are big to me.
And so for people who aren't familiar with your work yet, can you fill in the blank for me? For fans of blank, you will love Mxtty Holmes.
Well, I mean, for fans that have experienced love gone wrong, you will love Mxtty Holmes. I mean, I think that's kind of what it's really all about. Is just, and I think what I would love to do too is with my music, maybe help people in the future, maybe not go down the same path I did. I mean, at the end of the day, we all need to learn our own way, but I think it's important to really know when to walk away because life is fast, man. And if you're in the wrong situation for too long and you get comfortable, getting out of that situation could either take it could potentially never happen or take far long to do so. So definitely important to know when to walk away, but also, have your fun.
So you got a new single, In Love with the Liquor, coming out April 2nd. What are people in for with this one?
In Love with the Liquor is going to be a little bit different than the previous two. It's definitely a pop song. So it kind of has a Justin Bieber type vibe. I remember writing the song like it was yesterday. Definitely the lyrics, are pretty self-explanatory. There was a night where I really realized that the woman that I was with did not love me. Alcohol came first. And it was so crazy to see how 1 second the person that you think is in love with you treats you the way you want to be treated, and how the next it's just completely different. So I kind of realized that she chose alcohol over me, and instead of drinking myself to sorrows, I decided to write a song about it.
If you were to use 3 words to describe you as an artist and this project as a whole, what are those 3 words?
I think it would be sadness, infidelity, and growth. Because a big thing with this entire project, and people are going to notice it too, is how much I've actually grown by when the last song comes out, part 7, it'll all kind of come together. Well, you'll see the maturity Because when you look at part one, it's very exciting, bouncing around, kind of typically how relationships start off. You know, you're upbeat, I got this, no one can touch me. And then by the end of it, you're starting to realize, you know what, this sucks. And you start paying attention to things, and everything kind of slows down. So even the pace of the project is going to really emphasize on how a relationship goes from start to middle to finish.
Do you have an approximate end date for when the Toxic Love mixtape will be completed and when we're going to get all 7 episodes?
Well, to be honest, they're all done. I actually have them all completed. I've decided, you know, we got to be smart, obviously, in this day and age. There's so many artists out there, so much good music, and, you know, music of all kinds. I decided to, you know, be smart about it and just to kind of release things progressively over time so that I can build an audience, because I am kind of starting from, I would say, nothing. You know, I didn't have anything consistent probably for about the last 6 years when I was in that band. So yeah, I'm doing the single game. I have them all lined up. Believe me, I do want to drop it all. But you know, I'm going to obviously do it the single game. And then once it's all done, I'm actually going to drop the full visual. So they're all going to be connected. And that way people can actually take in the storyline and how it unravels.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking all the time to talk to us about what we have coming up with Mxtty Holmes, the Toxic Love Mixtape, and In Love with the Liquor dropping April 2nd. But we're going to give you a little teaser right now. Mxtty, thank you so much for joining us. Do you want to drop your handles? How can people find you? How can people support you?
So right now on social media, Mxtty Holmes, Mxtty Holmes. The reason why the X is there is because X marks the spot that she left. And right now on Spotify, you'll actually notice that there's no X. It's actually Mxtty Holmes without the X. Had to be a little bit smart. Don't want people trying to enunciate my name wrong. But yeah, that's how you can find me. Thank you so much for having me, man, Richard. It's been a pleasure, bro.
Thank you. Enjoy In Love with the Liquor, and we'll see you for another preview.
She's in love with the liquor and it shows. Gave her everything I could, she chose. I gotta ask myself. She's in love with the liquor and it shows. Gave her everything I could, she chose. I gotta ask myself.